book about sharks. I love sharks. They're my favorite books. Not this one. This book was about, I don't even want to talk about what it was about. There's a shark attack. Things happen. Hey everyone, I'm just doing a June wrap up. I know it's late, but I thought I'd get it out anyways. So let's just like get started and I'll tell you about some of the books I read. I'm very proud. I read 22 books. I have one that I loaned out to a friend, but I will tell you about that when I get there. The first one I read was A Witch's Guide to Saving a Demon by Sarah Hawley. And I liked it. It was really cute. I was more interested in the second one, and I didn't realize it was a series, so then I picked this one up first so I could read it. I gave it 3 stars. The next one is A Tempest of Tea by Habasa Fasal. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I gave this one 3 stars. It had me kind of confused. I'm holding out my thoughts on the series until I read the second one when that comes out. It was interesting. It's about a woman that owns a tea shop, and there's a mystery because all these vampires are going missing, and you're trying to figure out what's happening to them. So I liked it. 3 stars. The next one I read is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I gave this 5 stars. I highly recommend it. It was so good. I just finished A Promised Land by Barack Obama the month before that, and that one I 100% recommend as well. So if you guys are looking for a memoir, I would pick this one up. Next, I read Rhapsodic by Laura Talassa. I give this 2 stars. I really did not find it that interesting or like it. It's about this girl that keeps bringing this man back to her by asking for a bargain because she needs something, and every time she does, she gets a bead. And you find out that she owes the bargainer a lot of beads now because she asks for a lot of favors and their relationship. And then it comes into this like mystery plot, which I was not interested in at all. Okay, then I have Finlay, Donovan is Killing It by El Casimino. And I actually read, I'll do a review on all of them. I read all 4 of the books. And I'll do a rapid fire. So pretty much it's about this author that, Finlay, that is talking to her publicist at a coffee shop, and how they're talking about it, it seems like they are a hit woman. So the person next to them in the coffee shop tells them, like, slips her a piece of paper with a person that they want killed next to it. And just shenanigans and just like over the top things that you just like, you're like, why are you doing that? But it makes sense in her head, and it wraps up nicely by the 4th one. So I'll just do like a quick thing. So this one I just told you about, the person ends up dying, and then they have to figure out who killed them, and what happens. You hate the husband. Sorry about the light. I don't know what just happened. You absolutely cannot stand the husband. And I was hoping that something bad was going to happen to him. Sadly, no. But highly recommend. 4 or 5 stars, I believe I gave it. The next one is Finlay, Donovan Knocks Them Dead. This one is a continuation off the first one. I can't really say much about it if you haven't read it yet, but they're trying to figure out why and who this person is after that is close to her, and trying to uncover the bigger picture of the whole storyline. Oh, I gave this one 4 stars. The next one is Finlay, Donovan Jumps the Gun. I did not like this one as much. I gave this 3 stars. This one has to do with her relationship mostly with a cop and her family, and solving more crimes and mysteries that she gets herself into. A lot of shenanigans. And then the 4th one is Finlay, Donovan Rolls the Dice. I gave this one 4 stars. It wraps up everything very nicely. I really appreciated that. It actually makes me want to pick up the next one, which I will. This is just figuring out who has been behind everything for the last 3 books, and how she can like get out from underneath everything that happened to her because of her first actions in the book. I gave this 4 stars. Okay, and then I read 2 books from the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire. I read Come Tumbling Down, which follows the kids from the Wayward Children series. You go back to Jack and Jill, and Jack comes back to the home because she needs help saving herself and protecting herself from her sister Jill. So Jack and some of the kids from the school go back to her door to help Jack out and make sure that she can survive. I gave this one 4 stars. Very interesting. I love that world of like the Frankenstein and Dracula play on their world. And then I read Across the Green Grass Fields, and this one has nothing to do with any of the characters that you met so far, so that was kind of like off-putting. I gave it 3 stars still. Across the Green Grass Fields, you follow Regan, which is a girl that her life becomes a little difficult when her friends kind of turn their back on her. And so she goes through her door, and she loves horses, so her world has to do with like she can talk to horses and centaurs and other animals, and pretty much she just spends the whole time with the centaurs, and then there's like a quest that she has to go on to save them and like take down the queen and stuff. But honestly, it was not for me. It was super boring in my opinion. I did not like the plot at all. She comes back in the later books or in the next book, which makes it like tie in, and I like her better in that book, but this book just didn't do it for me. So the next book I read was Stephen King's 1922. This is about a wife that has a farm or land, and she wants to sell it, but her husband does not want her to, and he will do anything that he can to make sure it does not get sold, and he has the son help, or the son helps him anyways. And then it is about revenge and things mysteriously happening on their farms that is terrorizing them now. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this, and some of the descriptions that Stephen King uses are just great. Okay, so for the next stack, I have Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I gave this one 5 stars, or 4 stars. I love this. Look at this edition, first of all. Like, can we just appreciate it? It was so nice. So Stephen King wrote this book based off of a situation that happened with his child when they almost got hit by a car on the side of the road. And so his mind kept like spiraling onto like what could have happened. And so he wrote this. And it's honestly, I was scared. I love this book so much. Family that just moved into a new house, and Judd, their neighbor, comes over and shows them that they have a pet cemetery in the back. Well, one night while the family is gone, the husband is at home and he gets a call from Judd saying that their cat died. And so to bring it back, they go to the pet cemetery and the cat comes back, but it's like not right. It's evil. It smells bad. And so for a while you're dealing with that. And then their son Gage ends up going into the middle of the road and getting hit by a car or a truck. And so the husband is dealing with his grief and his wife's grief and trying to figure out how to make it better. And he decides to do what he did with the cat and bury him in the pet cemetery. And then you realize that some things you should keep left alone and just deal with your grief and be in the pain of it, versus doing something that might feel better but is not good for the overall health of everyone. I love this. I cannot wait to pick up a next Stephen King, and I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to read it. I've seen the movie a long time ago. I will probably rewatch the movie again soon. Okay, so the next ones, I picked up the next 2 Heartstopper books, book 4 and 5. Book 4, you're following Charlie and Nick's relationship, and you know, them going through the stages of, do I love him? Do I not love him? Like, am I sure this is how I feel? And then also some of the struggles that you see that they're having with family or their health, and following that. I really liked it. I gave this one 4 stars, I believe. And yeah. And then book 5, you follow Nick and Charlie's relationship when Nick is going off to college. when Nick is going off to college and Charlie is dealing with his own issues, and Nick's feelings on wanting to stay but also not knowing what to do because he is going off to college, and just the relationship dealing with this situation. I will be picking up the next book when it comes out. I gave this one 4 stars as well, I believe. Okay, so the next book I read is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I like this book. You follow Fox and Hannah. Hannah, you meet in book 1 as part of the Bellinger sisters, and she is working on a movie set and tells them that they should film in the seaside where her and her sister's bar is. And so they go there, and she stays with Fox, that you met in the first book, which he is a known player, but he has started changing his ways, but he's dealing with the issue that nobody else believes him or takes him seriously in relationships. And you get to see a wonderful story play out with their relationship. I very much enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars, and I would recommend the series. Okay, so the next one I read was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries by Heather Fawcett. I gave it 4 stars. You follow... Okay, so in this book, Emily and Wendell are trying to figure out what is going on with these hidden ones, which is different fairies that come and take children and leave a fairy in there instead. They're trying to figure out what the magic system is behind that and how to stop it from happening. And while this is going on, she also has the inkling that something is going on with Wendell that he is not telling her, and you're reading to figure out the mystery of the hidden ones and also Wendell's mystery as well. I am really excited to pick up the next one and see what happens. So I read Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Reaver, and that has to do with 2 serial killers that find each other at a murder scene, Sloane and Rowan, and they are both serial killers, and they have a game where they each year they pick a person that they want to kill, and then the first person that kills them gets the point, and eventually they have to find a winner. And it's just like a slow burn romance between them two, and then dealing with the people that are after them because they are serial killers. Okay, so the next one I read was Leather and Lark, which you follow Lark, which you meet in the first book. She is a singer, and then you meet Lachlan, which is a contract killer, or who is a contract killer. And they first meet because Lark ends up in a situation where she needs someone to help her with some evidence disposal. And he shows up and he's in a bad mood. He locks her in a trunk, and she is somewhat traumatized from it. And she gets out and ruins his reputation from his boss. And he is trying to get out from underneath his boss. And now he has to figure out how to get on his good side now that he wants to leave the business. They meet up again through Sloane and Rowan. And then you find out that Lark's family thinks that those brothers are trying to kill her family. And to protect everyone, Lark decides that she needs to marry Lachlan. And you see a really sweet relationship start to form between them two. And you're trying to figure out who is after them and who is trying to kill them off. And I gave this book 3 stars. It was sweet, it was cute, but not like the best book ever written. Okay, so the next book I read is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I loved this book, okay? It was everything that I wanted in a book. Okay, so you follow Ford, which is a billionaire that just buys a house back in his like neighborhood where he used to grow up in as Rose Hill, and he is a music producer now. And one day he gets a knock on his door that a girl is there, and she's saying that he is her father. And he ends up taking her in because she needs to like help her mom get better. And so you're dealing with him learning how to be a father and forming a relationship and learning about her. And while this is going on, his best friend's younger sister just moves back into town, Rosie, and they have a really cute relationship from the beginning when they were children, and how he always picked on her. But if she ever needed anything, he would be there for her to help her pick her up from a party, or if you know a bad breakup, he's there for her. And you see their relationship grow, and the respect for they have for one each and the respect they have for one another. There is no third act breakup scene, which I adore, and the communication here is amazing. I love a book that has communication, and so I'm happy that I read this. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. I am going to pre-order it. I 100% recommend, if you just want a really nice romance that is honest, has communication, and is a little bit steam. I don't know if I said, but 5 stars, 6 stars. The next book I read is World of Wonders. I am so sorry. I do not know how to say this. I will put it there so you can read it. This is just a book about a woman that is writing about animals that she has learned throughout the years, and talking about the meanings that hold to her, her favorite plants, or there's this really beautiful one about a peacock, and how she always loved peacocks, but then one day her teacher had them draw a picture of their favorite animal, and she put peacocks, and at the top she put the national bird of India, and her teacher calls her out in front of everyone, saying that you need to redo it, because you need to draw birds from America. And just her struggle from then on out, wanting to not not wanting to choose that bird, and how she doesn't like that color anymore, like lying to herself about that, and hating peacocks, and going home, and lashing out at her family because she feels such sadness from what happened, and them taking down all the peacocks in their house, and her never drawing a bird again until she got older. It was just such a great story, and that's like one of the ones that stand out the most. The other ones, I learned so much. I learned that did you know that when you see a firefly light up, that when they start lighting up, they only have 2 weeks left to live? I didn't know that, but you learn it in here. So I would 100% pick this book up. I gave it 4 stars. It was beautiful and wonderful, and I would, if she has any more books, I will definitely look to see if I can go and get another one of hers. And then last but not least, I read Jaws by Peter Benchley. I don't know. I don't really care. I hated this book. I despised it. I thought I was going into a book about sharks. I love sharks. They're my favorite books. Not this one. This book was about, it doesn't even matter. I don't even want to talk about what it was about. There is a shark attack. Things happen. This book, you're rooting for the shark because he takes care, in better of words, of the people that you don't like. These characters are not likable, so you don't really care what happens to them, in the sense of like you almost want the shark to eat certain people. While in the movie, it's the other way around. Like, you really like the people, and the shark is like the bad guy. I hated this book. I DNF'd it like 85% of the way through. I already know what happens. Um, I I just did not like this book whatsoever. Just watch the movie. And I even like the movie. Well, I like the movie, but they did my sharks wrong. So yeah, 0 or 1 star, 2 stars, I think I gave it. But that is all for my wrap up this month. So thank you guys for watching, and maybe we can talk about in the comments any of the books that you read this past month, or if you read any of these books, if you like them or had different opinions on what I read. Yeah, but thanks for coming. Bye. I see this now.